exactly like we thought it would go tonight. But, you know, proud of the kids as far as how they handled the situation. It was important for us to, you know, be excited to play, and we had a lot of energy. We probably had too much energy early. You know, and it's important to us to give good effort, and I thought we did. You know, for 3 quarters, probably would have been 4 if we had played for it. So, you know, and just how the thing unfolded for the last 7 hours or all that, I was just proud of how they, you know, they handled the situation. They showed maturity. They didn't gripe, you know, and they hung in there, and they would have been ready to play if we would have went back out. So, glad it turned out the way it did. So, I'll take some questions.
Dana, did you have any input whether or not the game would have been called, and would your preference have been continue to play, or you think this was a good decision?
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, those guys, they had 8 and 10 hours, right? You know, we put a 20-hour rule on these guys per week, you know, so it gets to a point to where, you know, enough's enough probably, you know. So, you know, I understood, you know, the situation. Everybody wants to play. I mean, everybody wants to take a full game, and everybody needs the snaps, and it's the first game, and all blah, blah, blah. But it gets to a point to where it's, you know, it would have been hard for those kids to go back out there after 8 hours, you know. So I think common sense takes place at some point.
The quarterback did as much with his legs, even though he didn't have a lot of rushing yards as he did with his arm tonight, allowing himself to get passes off. You couldn't have been real happy with the protection, but what about his ability to avoid the rush?
Did well, you know. He kept the play alive a lot early, and made some big plays on 3rd down. You know, it's a combination of a lot of things. You know, we're relatively thin at receiver. We didn't play very fast at receiver. You know, protection was, you know, it always can be better, but it wasn't terrible because, you know, I give Marshall a lot of credit what they're doing defensively. You know, they put a lot of pressure on us, and we didn't, you know, there's some times we didn't pick things up, and there's some times where we didn't run our routes fast enough to where Gino could get the ball out. So it's a combination of first game, you know, why you practice and why you play is to get better at. Said it last week, we're at the point where we're not going to know where we're at until we play a game, so we'll watch that film and make a bunch of corrections and get better.
All the talk about the offense coming in, and the defense held them to just 2 field goals and take away the punt return. Well, how about the defense? Is that
fantastic? You know, I mean, they played well. I think they had 4 or 5 3-and-outs. You know, so you know that played great. You know, if it was the first punt, you know, they put some pressure and forced us to punt it, and our coverage was, you know, the ball didn't go exactly where we wanted it to, so they were playing. The guys in coverage was playing kind of catch up and got to a point where they were just a split second late, and they got that one out on us. Their scheme was good. Again, I give them credit for that, you know. But other than that, you know, you're talking about a pretty solid defensive performance. Really proud of Jeff and those guys, and had some guys step up and play well. Proud of them.
During the delays, what are you guys doing in the locker room?
All kinds of stuff. We had Xbox games going on. We had pool games going on. We had I think some guys were playing cards in the corner. Had some TVs going on, watching the Weather Channel, watching the SMU Texas A&M game, sitting in the weight room. I mean, just always what that's about all we can do.
It's just
We thought about putting in some study hall hours, but we come up and the academic people weren't here, we wouldn't.
it's just the first game, but are you a little disappointed in the running game?
Well, it's a work in progress. I thought Bernard Roberts came in and gave us a spark in the 3rd quarter. You know, again, it's obvious that they were going to take away the run. I mean, they put a lot of people up. They blitzed a lot of people. It's something that we got to handle and do things to get them out of it. You know, we I think we had about 7 drives to where we scored on 5 of the 8 drives. You know, so I don't think our offense was was terrible by any stretch of the imagination. It's probably not living up to y'all's standards, but we're gonna watch the tape and try to get better at it.
Any news on Andrew Bowie?
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Good news.
The Tavon's kickoff return, that's a game breaker, I guess.
Yeah, it's Tavon. I mean, he played poor on offense. You know, he played really poor on offense. Had a good kick return, good scheme by Coach Roberts. You know, we had a plan, and the kids executed it. And you know, had a couple of punt returns too. You know, he had a 22-yard punt return. I think he averaged around 15 yards. 15 yards per punt return. So the return game for Tavon was good, which we all know that's something that he's capable of doing every game.
And ideally, you would have been out here a couple hours ago to probably get to work, I guess, right away. Do you still do that, or is that bumped back a little bit?
No, we'll handle it. The good news is the kids no school tomorrow. You know, so we'll use tomorrow as we'll be able to get them up here and spend some time with them, get this game over with, which would be very important. We need the teams show. Everybody knows this. Teams show all the improvement the first 3 games. So it's important for us to get in and watch the tape as a staff in the morning, and then get the kids in and show them the game and get better on all 3 sides of the ball. There's a lot of things defensively and special teams wise that we'll be able to learn from and get better at, and then we'll be able to lift them, run them. And then they can take Tuesday off and do students. So we'll be 1 day short for this week, but that's just, it's just the way the schedule sets up.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.